When you are beginning as an artist in elementary school or even earlier, you're not really thinking about depth. And depth is really one of the first things that we need to think about when composing our images. So depth is how something appears to be moving further into the distance or like closer to us as the viewer. And how we do that is we can utilize these three things. The first thing is blurriness and things that are in focus, our focal points. When things go off into the distance, they tend to appear more blurry. And there are exceptions to that rule, and I will go into that further on down the line. But the reason for things going off into the distance more blurry is because of the atmosphere that we have on our Earth. The more atmosphere that we are seeing through, the more blurry it is going to appear. And atmosphere is just really the air that we breathe, the particles of water. Now imagine a foggy day, and as things go off into the distance, they really do fade out into nothing. But we still have that same thing happening even on a clear day. Now, how we can use this in our art is as things start to go off into the distance, not only are they lighter in color, but they tend to appear more blurry. Another thing to consider is that when things go off into the distance, they do get smaller. The next one is things that are darker and more textured appear to come closer to the viewer, just like things that are lighter in color and a little bit blurrier will tend to pull back. This also happens to be true with warm and cool colors. So warm colors like your reds, oranges, yellows will appear to pull forward more, and your cool colors, blues, greens, and different types of violets will appear to push backwards. So you can use those three things to kind of help you with basic understanding of composing your elements in a way that will make it appear to have depth. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is create this little piece. And one thing you may notice is that on the top here, the blue is a little bit more blue than it is when it starts to go down. And the reason why is because this blue is actually more above us, because we're trying to create depth in our piece in all forms, not just the objects, but the world that we have around us. So even the sky, if you start to notice specific paintings, drawings, photographs, it does appear to be more blue at the top of the page. And then as we look further onto the distance, the atmosphere appears to be a little bit lighter in color. This is also not necessarily true for all circumstances, but let's just pretend that as we're starting, we use this as our starting point. Equally true for our starting point, we're going to assume the same thing for our ground. It's going to be darker in color, more texture, and then as it appears to go off into the distance, we're just going to fade it out and lighten it out to give the appearance of depth.